What's up guys, Starlink here, and today I wanted to take a quick look at a game that back when it was first announced promised a lot of things, and it actually looked to be a very beautiful game. But quickly after its Kickstarter announcement, everything took a quick slippery slope down for the worst, and ultimately the game never came to exist. But without further ado, let's just take a look at what happened to Lynn and the Spirits of Inao. Or is it a no? Honestly, that's a mystery in itself. We may never know how that game was properly pronounced. Lynn and the Spirits of Inao, a game that was apparently in development since 2011 by French developer Bloomy Light Studio, then later on launching a Kickstarter back in May of 2016. It was to be a 2D action-adventure platformer with Metroidvania elements that was not only heavily influenced by Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki films, but also video games as well, such as the Legend of Zelda series and Muramasa the Demon Blade. Taking one look at the Kickstarter trailer and you could see the potential that this game had. The gist of the story is that you played as Lynn, a young disciple of a priestess. After some mysterious events that unfold during a ritual to send lost spirits home, the head priestess gets injured and you're tasked with finding the source of the problem and restoring peace between the living and the dead. Along your journey, you would come across a demon spirit known as Aku, who would act as your familiar-like companion, pestering you throughout the game. So not too different from Navi from Ocarina of Time then. I can see the Zelda influence already.
Hey, listen!
The game had a night and day cycle that would alter enemy appearances as well as the environments that you traverse. The daily routines of characters would change based off the time of day as well, with you gaining the ability to manipulate time at will later on. There were plenty of quests to partake in, secrets and upgrades to discover, the works. The hand-drawn environments looked beautiful and the character artwork did indeed have that Studio Ghibli feel to it. The music from the trailer sounded great as well, again capturing that Studio Ghibli essence. Taking a gander scrolling through the Kickstarter page would show what seemed like a talented group of individuals with well-received backgrounds working on this game. Everything looked like it was legit, with the project reaching close to 42,000 out of its near 60,000 goal, with about 2 weeks left to go with its campaign. Lynn and the Spirits of Inao seemed like it was bound for success. So what went wrong? Shortly after the Kickstarter campaign's launch, word started leaking out of some shady business practices that were going down behind the scenes with the dev team of Bloomy Light Studio. It started out with a Reddit post by an individual who has worked in the French video game industry. He discovered that Bloomy Light Studio was being accused by former interns of not paying their interns at all, which in France, it's illegal to have unpaid internships that last for more than 2 months. The CEO of Bloomy Light Studio also made the interns sign a legal document stating that they had been paid for their work when clearly they were not. Apparently, everything that was shown off in the trailer, including all the fancy animations on the Kickstarter front page, was put together by said interns, and the devs didn't even lift a finger. It wasn't even actual gameplay that was in the trailer. It was just a bunch of fancy CGI imagery that was thrown together in preparation for the campaign's launch. That means all that beautiful artwork, and what was believed to be gameplay footage, was nothing but a puff of smoke. Nothing of the game actually existed, other than the name and some CGI wizardry. Of course, people were waiting for some kind of response from Bloomy Light Studio themselves to see if they could shed any more light on the subject, and sure enough, that's what happened. They announced via an update on Kickstarter that Lynn and the Spirits of Inao was cancelled in light of controversy and mistakes made in the past. In the face of violent declarations and threats uttered against members of the team, they decided to end the project here, they claimed, saying that it was regrettable that a handful of individuals were able to destroy the work of so many people and that they spent so much energy to cause a relentlessness of incredible violence against our team. Of course, anybody who was keeping up with the project knew what was really going on. The unpaid interns rose up against them and left. They had nobody else to work on the game. Ultimately, they made the right choice in canceling the game, but they should have owned up to it and give credit where it was due instead of playing the victim card. In the end, a lot of Kickstarter backers, myself included, collectively dodged a bullet here and may not even have realized it. And as much as it pains me to see a promising project like this die, at the same time, it's hard to feel any remorse on a shady company's business dealings over a game that never existed in the first place. So in the end, as beautiful and promising as this game may have looked, all it was smoke and mirrors. And I'm glad that the dev team got called out for trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Because if you sit and think about it, if this game's funding campaign was ever successful, yeah, sure, they could have run off with all your money and not say a word, but even if they chose to stuck by it and develop the game from the ground up, chances are very high that it would not turn out to be the game that they advertised on the Kickstarter page. And honestly, a game like Mighty No. 9 is a great example of this. It showed off a really successful Kickstarter campaign, showed off some really great 2D art assets, and then when the game finally releases, we get a half-assed, mediocre experience that wasn't worth the price invested into it. But honestly, that's the gamble that you're putting on the table when you're going for funding campaigns like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Sometimes you'll have some great ones like Shovel Knight and Shantae Half Genie Hero, and then you'll get the bad apples like Mighty No. 9 or the Ouya. But I'm rambling on too much. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like or a dislike if you didn't. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Reach for the stars. All right, let's take a deep breath, get all this ready, get all this through the motions. We can get this done, right? I can get this done in one clip. I gotta hold out. I'm feeling a belch coming on right now, but I gotta try to hold it back, okay? I gotta make sure that I can hold it back after the video clip, and then I can belch all I want. All right, here we go. What's up, guys? In the end, the game never came to be. So that's what I'm gonna take a look at today. So in the end, as beautiful and promising as this game, thanks Kira. Now I can't talk, now I have to repeat the whole thing. Thank you. Thank you. Go back to sleep, girl. So in the end, as beautiful and promising as this game may have looked, all it was, Kira, it was smoke and mirrors. Thanks for telling me this. So in the end, as beautiful and promising as this game may have looked, all it was beautiful mirrors in this. Damn it, the hell, I said beautiful mirrors. All right.